Good morning, children. This is Sumati, your social studies teacher. Today I am going to teach the chapter 2 in that part 3. And here, before teaching, I am going to revise the previous chapter or a previous topic, whatever we studied. That is southwest monsoons, northeast monsoons, and the rain gauge. This all we studied. Am I correct? I think you know very well. And now I am going to the topic rivers. In this topic we are going to rivers and flow of rivers. I know, children, you have a doubt how the rivers we are getting, from where the water we are getting into the rivers, and where the water is going from the rivers. These are all questions here. Am I correct? So when we get the rainfall, the rivers are forming. How it is forming, we are going to learn. And when we are getting the rainfall, what happened? Some of it is percolating into the soil. Percolate means shrinks into the soil. Some flows on the surface of the earth, that is as a river. And some part of the water becomes as a water vapor, mixes into the air. And while the rain starts, actually in the mountain or the hilly areas, what happened? The streams form. The streams means small part of the flow of water. And when the streams are forming, it cuts as a channel. That means it makes it convenient to flow of the water from mountain to down. And these streams, when it is forming, it makes it easy to flow of water. But when it is no rain, it dries up. When it gets the rainfall, again the streams form. As its source, that means the streams are the main starting point of the river. And when it cuts a thin stream, it flows slowly to the plains, and slowly flowing, it becomes bigger and bigger, because in between some other channels, that means some other streams join in between. So this happens because some other streams join, then it becomes as a river. But these streams are the small rivers which join to a large river. Those are called a tributary. See here, the formation of rivers is provided here with a picture. Here, this is the stream. This is another stream. These two joined. Like that, maybe some other streams also in between may come and join. And like that, it's became bigger river. But while this river is flowing, while it became a bigger, water content is more, and it flows very slow. It may become slow, because the reason is, while the streams are flowing, they may bring the soil, silt or pebbles from the top, and that carries to down. While the soil or pebbles became heavier, the flow of water becomes slow. Then at that time it deposits both the sides of the rivers, the soil or the silt, and slowly that may become, again flows continues, and when it continues, automatically when it reaches to the sea, actually here the flow is slow, but when it reaches to the sea, it becomes a depression that to flow in such a movement, it provides or it causes or the formation of deltas. Here you see small land parts are there. Actually, while the river is flowing to joining to the sea, here the water is flowing, and total silt whatever it is carries, the total silt is deposits here. Those are only forming of the deltas, and these deltas are very fertile, and those are totally alluvial soil, helpful for the agriculture. And where the river joins to the sea, it is called the mouth of the river. Okay, I think you understood the children. Such a way the formation of rivers took place. So when the river forms, what happened? Every year we get the rainfall. Whenever we are getting the rainfall, that water deposits into the river. But whenever we are getting the floods, that means heavy rain took place in the course of the river. That means wherever the starting point of the river, we got the heavy rainfall, or maybe in the middle of the river. So as per that only, wherever the rivers joins to the sea, we get the heavy, of course, totally floods. And that flood, what happened when it is unable to reach, because the water is more, and then it creates a new way to join into the sea, that is called a channel, and it creates a delta. Whenever it creates a new channel, it forms a delta. So thus the deltas are formed. But in our state, we have two main deltas of river Krishna and river Godavari. You see, these are the triangular places are there. The triangular areas are deltas. In Andhra Pradesh, we have, these are the two largest deltas. And you see that river Krishna. This is river Krishna. And Godavari flows in this way. See, this way. And here, because of the depression of Godavari and Krishna, in between one lake is formed, that is Kolleru Lake. Okay. Even starting of that lesson, you have studied maybe the boundaries also. Okay. That's now no need. Already we discussed. And here, these are not only the two rivers. Here, Vamsadhara, Nagavali, these are flowing from Srikakulam. And here it is another important river. It is the Penna river. This Penna river is after these two Krishna and Godavari rivers. This is the biggest or the largest river. And now we have to go into the topic floodplains and floods. A river is full during the rainy season. You know that whenever the rains we get, automatically the river is filled with the water. But when it is dry time or dry season, the water shrinks. That is, percolates into the soil. But because every year we get the rains heavily, the valley is filled with water and along no permanent trees or the plants. What happened when we are getting the rainfall every year? The river bank totally fills with the water. River is filled with water, and both the sides of the river, it will not allow that to grow permanent trees. That means rainy season we get more water. Other seasons that some part of the water dries up. So because of that reason, that two sides of the river will not grow that any plants. This treeless bed is called the floodplain of the river. And in our state, the floods are the main problem. We recent years we are getting many floods. You know that. Because of that floods, we are losing the crops as the farmer is growing, but at the time of cutting stage of the crop, they are getting the floods. As per that reason, they are losing the crop and they are getting the loss. So as per this reason, the floods are, of course, that is one of the main reason. We know that floods are becoming the main problem in the recent years. And when we have a forest, suppose we have more forests in India, we know that. But if we have the more forest area, then automatically when we get the rains, what the trees will do? Those will stuck or slow down the speed of the flow of the water. Actually, when the trees are there, it happens. If suppose the trees are not there, automatically what happens? The run of water is very fast and it moves such a way. But when vegetation is there, that means trees are there, it sinks some part of the water when the flow is reducing, and automatically the water is percolating inside, it preserves the water inside the soil. So the trees are helping in this way to protect the water. And not only to protect that water, even the trees are helping in another way, that is reducing the soil erosion by rainwater. Why? The trees are there, the trees have binding that soil, and that soil is actually not allowing to flow, because the trees are binding that soil, now it won't flow or it won't erode. If suppose we don't have the trees, what happened? The top layer of the soil washes away. So the top layer of the soil only contains more fertility. If that soil washes away, it takes place of the soil erosion. So if the trees are grown, it's very good that preserves the water also, and protect the soil also. But nowadays in Himalayas, whatever the rivers we have, we are getting the floods in over those areas because to construct the dams in the Himalayas areas, they are cutting the forest area. Because of that reason, the flow of water is more speed, and as per that, the soil erosion is also taking place, and at the same time, the glaciers also melting. Glaciers means the ice, it is melting from the Himalayas, and those are creating the more water in the rivers, and the rainwater rapidly flow down the slope of the mountain and fills up the floodplain of the river. And the water also bring a very large quantity of the silt or the soil which they are depositing on the river bed, means both the sides of the river, and this resulting again in the frequent rivers. Mostly it is causing the damage of the life and property also. That means many people are dying, and even properties also we are losing because of the flood damages of the properties. That means houses or the other buildings or maybe roads or something, it's damaging. And all this actually explaining about that if we are protecting the forests protect us. So because of that reason, we have to increase the forests. And see these pictures, these are actually floodplains. When we get the floods, how the water is contains, and when we don't have the floods, how it is there, you can see that. See, when normal timings, the river flow is in this way, but both the sides of the river, these are the floodplains. Okay, and crossing the beyond that floodplains, here you see some villages are there, trees are growing, agriculture is going on. These are all okay because when they get the floods, this is not at all affecting. These areas are totally affected. So this is called floodplain pebbles and sand deposit. Pebbles, sand, silt deposits in this particular area here and here. This is the main flow of the water, and this is river bank. Okay, this one and this one. You see that at the time of the floods, what is happening? Even the small stream became as a wide. This total area became filled with water, and not only this, even river bank also some part of the water entered and causing the damage to the people or the property. So this is the main reason when the floods we get, what happens, and when how the river flows and how we get the water into the rivers. Okay, that's all for today, children. Now this is the time to go for assignment. What are called tributaries? Define delta. Which river is called the South Ganga? Actually, the Godavari river of the South India is the biggest river. It is called the South Ganga. What are the two large rivers flowing in Andhra Pradesh? That's all for today. Bye bye.